going on, Jerome's? So the RG3 and Jay Gruden Twitter beef was, it's something I didn't know that we needed, but our body was craving it. It's like sustenance. It's like a cool glass of clean water after you've been dying of thirst in the desert. Who knew, man? Who knew? But so laying the groundwork on this. So RG3, as you remember, was the number 2 overall pick in 2012. Washington, Daniel Snyder, and the Shanahan. Well, what's multiple Shanahans? Shanahan, right? So they traded up heaven and earth to go get him. And RG3, Rookie of the Year, had a phenomenal rookie season before the Shanahans just sort of left him out there to get injured. And also that year, remember, they took Kirk Cousins in the 4th round. So there was always that RG3 versus Kirk dynamic. And then the Shanahans were fired. And then Jay Gruden came in 2014. And he oversaw the transition from RG3 as a starter to Kirk Cousins taking over. And Kirk under Jay Gruden, he took over the starting role, got franchise tagged twice, and really took off. And eventually 2018 left for the Vikings. Jay Gruden was canned in 2019, and it is what it is. Although, do you give Jay Gruden credit for grooming Cousins in Washington, or was it more Sean McVay and Kevin O'Connell? I don't know. I don't know, man. But either way, RG3, he was benched, and he did set the entire 2014 season because they didn't want his then 5th-year option. Back then it was injury guaranteed. They didn't want that to kick in. He was the OG guy like that. So yeah, it's pretty fair to say that RG3 and Jay Gruden probably didn't see eye to eye on things. But who knew? Like, again, I want so many Twitter beefs. I want so many podcasts. Like, this is the new diss track. They're just starting out your own podcast and going after it, man. So this all started innocently enough. Monday Night Football, Jalen Hurts. Yeah, the offense is very poopy, and the Bucs were having their way with the Eagles, and Jalen Hurts was being put on the ground. And Jay Gruden, so he tweeted out, if I ever put a quarterback through what Philly is putting Jalen through, I apologize, pick up a blitz. And yeah, the Eagles offense, since Shane Steichen left, is just garbaggio. It's really, really not good. So Jay Gruden puts that out there, and then RG3. So I'll say this about RG3. I thought that he was underrated as a player. If he didn't get injured, would he have succeeded? Who knows? But also, I think that he's great in the media. I think that he's really good on social media. I think that he's great doing commentary for college football. Also, I think he's absolutely hilarious. Like every single week, he has some sort of viral clip of he said what. But also, that being said, RG3 is very good at making it about him. So he couldn't help himself. So he pounced on that tweet from Jay Gruden and then say what? Say what? As indicating that, hey, I was a quarterback that you put in those similar situations. Even though Washington's offensive line then with prime Brandon Scherf and prime Trent Williams, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, man. Then Jay Gruden responded, "You weren't prepared, Robert?" ? So that cuts 2 ways. Where it's like you weren't prepared as like, hey, us as coaches, we didn't prepare you, or you weren't prepared as like you didn't put in the work. It's a Rorschach test. Then RG3 came back. You told me you didn't know how to coach a quarterback who could throw and run like me. So looks like you weren't prepared, Jay. Although, let's not act like Kirk Cousins doesn't have wheels, man. I don't know. But did Jay Gruden say that? Who knows? Man? Then Jay Gruden, you are right. We didn't have a good enough staff. Sorry. Hope all is well with you. So he does the whole Minnesotan passive-aggressive wet blanket thing. I was like, oh, no. You are absolutely right. We as coaches weren't good enough. But you, hopefully things are going well with you. That's just dripping. Like, did Jay Gruden ever coach in Minnesota? Nah. Possible, man. And then RG3, came back, clapped back as the kids say. Like we said, the podcast is the new diss track since everyone has a podcast, man. But RG3 went on a whole spiel about Jay Gruden and his time in Washington. And Jay Gruden, you really want to play this game? And then RG3 coming back with the thunder. I'm not playing any games. I'm retired. You have a free invite to come on the show and discuss. Again, RG3. He's really good about making things about him. And I think that he's a good showman because this serves 2 purposes. Number one, it inflates him, clout, and also if Jay Gruden actually comes on the show, that will do ratings and numbers. And also he gets to air out his grievances from the past. It's great. face to face. I know where all your bodies are buried, Jay. Don't play with me. Which that is like some Clint Eastwood, wah, 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 like shootout. Hey, high noon shootout at the OK Corral style. It's like I know where all the bodies are buried. Where, I mean, Washington. I mean, Washington. You've seen, what happened with Daniel Snyder. What happened with the emails from the team president, and also what happened to Jay's brother John Gruden with the Raiders, and just like, I mean, there has got to be some wild stuff going on, man. And above the entire fray is Kirk Cousins. Like the squeaky clean milquetoast skim milk 2% dude out there, and he's just in that cesspool in DC. Like, it's amazing. And then Jake. So a lot of former Washington players have chimed in. Will Compton's one of them. Like they all said, like, Jay Gruden is low key funny, but. So he put a clip of the famous RG3 on NFL Countdown racing against like a hawk or something, because Seahawks, Hawks 12, but tells go race a pigeon. Again, this entire like really stupid feud, people who have a lot of pent up grudges, like it's great, man. Now, we can't determine the veracity of this, but a lot of outlets are running with it. But apparently Jay Gruden tweeted up, "You weren't good enough. Kirk was better. Cleveland didn't want you. Baltimore did either. Quit blaming me." And I mean, it's who knows nowadays with Photoshop and AI, but I mean, that would be a slam, because RG3 went to Cleveland for a hot second, went to the Ravens for a hot second, and everything didn't work out. So I mean, I think it came down to RG3's injuries. And if the Shanahan hadn't left him out to dry his rookie year, maybe he could have developed something. Maybe if he had an offense completely structured around him, maybe it could have worked out. Maybe if like the Lamar Jackson or the Josh Allen or the Kyler Murray offense was put around RG3, maybe it could have worked out for the Pride of Baylor. Who knows, man? But again, this all adds up to. I did not know this. I did not know that Jay Gruden has his own podcast, and apparently he's going to be taking some swings this evening at 4 p.m. Central Time, which is the only time zone that matters. But like I said, this has just been glorious. Again, RG3 obviously has some animosity towards Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden, probably had to put up with a lot of RG3 stuff, and this entire team was completely dysfunctional back then. And then you just had Kirk. But I want more of this. Yeah, the whole thing is like, hey, we want 30 for 30s to expose everything, but now like just have it out on the streets, on social medias, and then everyone's on their podcasts. And also, I'm going to crowdfund. I want Mike Zimmer to start his own podcast. I will crowdfund it. We will make it worth Zimmer's while. We will get all the equipment. We will make it where all he does has to do is sit down and just talk and go. Because, I mean, Zimmer's got to have some beefs. I mean, whether it be with Kirko, whether it be with Spielman, whether it be with whoever. I mean, also I want to ask him about Bobby Petrino, a.k.a. the Gutless Bastard. Anyways, like I said, this has been sort of a meh week for Vikings fans, but I mean, this was good. This was just fantastic. But your thoughts are thoughts. The RG3 Jay Gruden beef is giving me life. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You know what to do. Skol, production value.